Now this is a bit unusual for me because this is a cycler. Now normally I don't go for cyclers or rev shares, but this one appeals to me. I like that it's decentralized, I like that it's a smart contract, and those two things mean that there's nobody to run away with our money. It's all controlled automatically by a pre-written program, which is the smart contract, and the rules and the functionality of that smart contract cannot change. So it's pretty safe. Now I'm not going to say it's 100% safe because I've not looked at the code, but the idea of Ethereum smart contracts is that it protects both parties. So no one can run away with our money, it's self-sustaining, and it's decentralized. So the developer can't just pull the plug on it and disappear, for example. So that removes a lot of the risks that we usually face, such as being at the mercy of somebody else, hoping they'll give us our money back and not run off with it. We're protected from that. Now you can get started for as little as $15, so it's very low risk. And you don't have to be a team builder for this. You can still get paid through spillover from other team builders like me. But if you do share this with others, you'll earn a lot more and a lot quicker. Now when you hear the phrase Ethereum smart contracts, you might go, oh no, it sounds complicated. I can't handle all this techie stuff, but just bear with me. This is really, really simple. And the only reason I'm going to explain this is because you're going to hear the words Ethereum smart contracts, and when you hear them, I don't want you to be phased at all. It's very simple. So an Ethereum smart contract, it's a computer program. It's a bit like an app on your phone. Now most of you don't know how the apps work on your phone, but you can still use them. That's the same as an Ethereum smart contract. Now instead of existing on our phone like a normal app might, these apps exist on the Ethereum blockchain. You don't even have to know where the Ethereum blockchain is. You don't know where Bitcoin is, do you? It's the same principle. So these contracts, they're basically just a collection of functions and rules. And once the smart contract is uploaded to the Ethereum blockchain, those rules cannot be changed. They're fixed, they're permanent. The benefit of that is it makes it safe for us to use. Because there's rules in there to say what happens to money as soon as an event happens. Someone joins, someone moves to a certain level, money is then sent automatically to somewhere. You don't want those rules changed. The great thing about Ethereum smart contracts, the developers cannot run away with our money. So this is safe. They can't shut it down. It's safe. Once it's uploaded, it's on the Ethereum blockchain. So the developers effectively have nothing more to do with it. And because it's on the Ethereum blockchain, it's decentralized. And decentralized just means the app is in multiple places around the internet, and if one system fails, the smart contract continues to work because it's not dependent upon just one computer. And with this smart contract, our money is sent directly to our wallets. That's really important. There are no approvals, there's no requests, it's all automatic. So in summary, it's just an app, and it's safe. Now one of the developers behind this is this guy here, and his name's Lado Hotnikov, and he has a YouTube channel dedicated to talking about Forsage, and he's also active on their Telegram chat room. So how does Forsage work? Well, you need roughly $15 in Ethereum to get started, and that's 0.05 Ethereum plus a little for fees. Now obviously the price of crypto changes a lot, but as of February 2020, it's roughly $15. Now that's your entry fee to two ways of making money. The first way is called X3, the second way is called X4. So let's look at X3 first. Now when you pay 0.05 Ethereum to start, half of that goes to X3 and half that goes to X4. So you've paid 0.025 Ethereum for X3, which is roughly $6 at the moment. Now let's say you introduce one person to Forsage. You will receive 0.025 Ethereum. You introduce a second person, you receive another 0.025. At this point, you've got your money back. And when you introduce a third person, you've completed one cycle, and the fee for starting a cycle again is paid for by that third person. and that fee goes to your sponsor. And then the cycle starts again. Now there's no time limit to each cycle. It might take you 10 minutes to complete the cycle, it might take you 10 days. You've already paid your 0.025 Ethereum to get started, and that's the only time you put your hand in your pocket. You never have to add any more money into the system again. And after only one cycle, you've already received your original investment back. And then the cycle starts again. And when it completes, you're now in profit by 0.05 Ethereum. And these cycles can continue forever, earning money again and again. There are no limits to the number of cycles, and you don't have to put your hand in your pocket again. So after a few cycles, you've accumulated a nice sum of Ethereum. So what's next? Well, you can optionally upgrade to the next slot. Now there are 12 slots altogether. So far we've just looked at the first one. Each slot costs double the previous one and earns double the previous one. So in slot 1 we saw that the cost was 0.025. Slot 2 cost 0.05. And it's completely optional. You can upgrade to that if you want. But the cost of upgrading comes from the profits that we received from slot 1. Now we don't have to add any more money into the system. It's self-perpetuating. And when people want to earn more money, having 12 slots to upgrade to is a great encouragement to upgrade. So when people are ready, they're most likely going to upgrade. Now when one of the people that you've previously invited upgrades, you receive 0.05 Ethereum. When the next person upgrades, you receive another 0.05. And when the third person upgrades, that covers the reinvestment fee to start the cycle again. And you only pay for the upgrade once. So that's important to get that point. You only pay for it once. The next time slot 2 cycles, it pays for itself. And at no point are you adding more money into the system. You started with 0.05 Ethereum, which paid your entry fee to X3 and X4, which we'll talk about shortly. And after that, it's self-perpetuating. It continues by itself. So how much can we earn in the Forsage X3 program? Well, we've already seen in slot 1, it costs us 0.025 to enter, and we can earn 0.05 Ethereum once we've completed that cycle. Slot 2, we can earn 0.1 Ethereum. Slot 3, we can earn 0.2. Slot 4, we can earn 0.4 Ethereum. Slot 5, 0.8 Ethereum. Slot 6, 1.6 Ethereum. Now it starts to become nice. And all the way up to 102.4 Ethereum. Now remember, there are no limits to the number of times you can cycle through each of these slots. So slot 12, for example, you could cycle through there hundreds and hundreds and thousands of times. And in each of these slots after slot 1, you upgrade once. And as each of the cycles complete, it reinvests automatically. And the cycle begins again. So there's massive potential here. So that's the X3 side of Forsage. Now let's look at the X4 side. Now in X4, each slot has 2 levels. On level 1, you can have 2 people, and on level 2, you can have 4 people. Now in X4, in each of the slots, 3 of the payments go to your sponsor and 3 of the payments go to you. And you can see in the diagram here that on level 1, both payments go to the sponsor. On level 2, the first 3 go to you, and on the last one, it goes to your sponsor, and it's also the reinvestment fee to begin the cycle again. Now X4 also has 12 slots, and each slot cycles. But in X4, you can progress without inviting anybody, because in X4, we have the concept of overspill. Now overspill means that you get the benefit of a referral even if you've never invited somebody. Now the only drawback is that you don't have any control of when you receive overspill. You might get some, you might not, but the bigger the team that grows around you, the more likely you are to get overspill. Now the reason they have the X4 program here is because it allows passive investors to earn as well. Now when you invite somebody, they go into the X3 program and the X4 program at the same time. So if you're inviting people, you'll fly through this. If you're not inviting people, you'd have to be more patient. It'll take longer. So how much can we earn with the X4 program? Well, in the first slot, we can earn 0.075 profit per cycle. In slot 2, we can earn 0.15 Ethereum. In slot 3, 0.3 Ethereum. In slot 4, 0.6 Ethereum. In slot 5, 1.2 Ethereum. And in slot 6, we can earn 2.4 Ethereum. And it goes all the way up to 152 Ethereum at slot 12. So I think you'll agree there's massive potential there. And there's no rush on this. There's no expiry date, there's no deadline. The only actions that you need to take is to join with the minimum Ethereum of roughly $15 and then to optionally upgrade to each of the slots in X3 or X4 as and when it suits you. Okay, so let me summarize my verdict for Smartway Forsage. I always like to start with what I don't like. Now, there is very little to not like about this. The only thing I can think of is that passive investors will progress slowly. Now, I'm obviously stretching here to find a negative, but it's always going to be the case that if you don't share, your funds won't grow as quickly. And now for what I like about Forsage. Firstly, the risk is tiny. It's insignificant. The maximum you can lose here is 0.05 ETH, which is roughly $15. And I'm including the fees in that. Now, Forsage is safe. We're protected by the smart contract. Nobody to scam us. Now, isn't that refreshing? There are 2 ways to earn here, via referrals and passively. So everybody is covered. And the great thing about this system is it has the potential to create a perpetual income. An income that continues again and again and again with no end in sight. Now, a really great point about Forsage is that all payments come directly to us, automatically. We don't have to request it. There's nobody to authorize the payments. It's all automatic. And there are no deadlines, no expiry dates. And lastly, these cycles repeat automatically. The only action you have to take is to upgrade to the next cycle if you want. So everything is done for us. It's a beautiful, simple system. Now, this is obviously low risk. And following this video will be a getting started video to show you how to join and how to upgrade to another slot if you so desire. Okay, so that's Smartway Forsage. All right, take care, guys.